Pecha research. Thank you for the two people who remembered. Hello. Okay. Next up, we have Louise from Homes and Cook, who will be talking about econometric modelling. And I don't have my speakers this time, I haven't got the bio, so we'll have to just start. Sorry, Homes and Cook is a small econometrics agency, work for Eurostar, Home Office, Weetabix, BT. She's contributed to lots of winning IPA effectiveness awards. Interest of horses in Land Rovers, one being needed to tow the other. So here we go. Ready to start? 1, 2, 3, go.
Hi, my brief this evening is to add some quantity to the entertainment, so I'm afraid we've got lots of graphs, not photographs. Many people use econometrics in a very restrictive way. They focus on price, or promotions, or communication, and lots of possibilities get missed. What I want to show you is loads of things you can do with models, and different ways you can look at their output. Econometrics has 3 general capabilities. It can identify which factors are important, it separates their effects, and it quantifies those effects. It even tells you about the timescales over which those effects occur, something which is very useful when understanding the impact of communication. It can be used to examine many different issues. For factors under your control, you can assess whether it's profitable to change them. A rail company can see how many more passengers greater punctuality will bring and compare this with delivery costs. If you understand factors outside your control, you can plan more effectively and maybe use marketing levers to offset their impact. You can use econometrics to find out what drives loads of different KPIs. Sales is most common. For launches, it's useful to investigate media effects on distribution to get the full picture. For Stella, did promotions drive long-term penetration? And Tesco wanted to see how their own and AdWords advertising affected each other's image dimensions. Once we've quantified the key factors driving sales, we can use a model to dissect history and examine how we got to where we are. Here, the blue bar is the overall change in sales. The red bars show the balance of positives and negatives producing that change. Less DM was the biggest negative effect, price cuts the biggest positive. We might want to understand a particular variable in even more detail. This isolates individual 4-weekly periods and shows the change in volume, the red bars, driven by temperature variation, the blue line. This is canned soup, a very seasonal market where a 3.5 degree change in temperature could shift volume by almost 20%. After the basic quantifications, there are several ways we can examine how we got to where we did. For Kucha, the big question is whether the advertising worked at all, because the product simultaneously moved into larger, better value packs, making it possible to read top-line data. In actual fact, the advertising contributed as part of brand growth. We can do a similar thing to gauge how brand is being impacted in the long term by any changes in market structure. Here we have the impact of a new competitor. But this was for, say, Eurostar. We could be looking at how the high-speed line, with resulting improvements in punctuality, benefited business over the longer term. Our model will show how causal factors interact. In very seasonal markets, say salad dressing, weather can affect other factors' performance. Here, during the second TV burst, the bars show how unusually cold weather impaired the advertising effect. Although targets weren't met, it wasn't down to the communications per se. Moving on to the time effects moving on to the time profile of effects, being able to identify this is most useful for communication. Here the bars are the amounts of advertising activity. The line shows the resulting sales effect identified by the model. There is some sales effect post-airtime, but this is limited and short-lived, would be typical of promotional advertising. Brand-building advertising tends to work over a longer period. Again, the bars are advertising, and the blue line is ad-generated sales. The model shows just how long the effects persist, and thus how much advertising is needed to build rather than maintain sales. As we see next, the carryover is very important for media timing, especially with extreme seasonality. With a very marked Christmas peak, the dilemma is how long before Christmas to begin advertising to maximise its benefit. Waiting until peak sales week wastes a lot of the carryover as it impacts on low post-Christmas sales. A range of scenarios can be run to identify the best start week. Long-term effects can be particularly tricky. This microphone's a nightmare. Let's wait for the next media run together, it can be difficult to separate their effects. What needs to happen is that econometrics is used in conjunction with other research techniques. It does the very broad job, how much has happened, other approaches fill in how, possibly even which media made an impact. O2's communication is highly integrated. Evaluating its effects needed loads of econometrics on awareness, consideration, sales and churn. Comparing time profiles of various communication responses gave a key insight. All messages, whether brand or promotional, had long-lived effects. Integration must enable them all to do a brand job. Moving to price and promotion, many questions can be addressed. These range from the overall effect of brand level price change to the extent of within brand switching when relative prices move. Prices can be analysed in terms of the context of list prices or in terms of short-term promotional price cuts. If we can get data at the right level, we can understand a great deal about the way promotions work, in terms of the contribution to not just price, but also display. We can look at the pattern of buying forward. But we need to be mindful of cross-store cannibalisation. Consumers shop in more than one place. A successful promotion in Tesco may pull sales from Sainsbury's or Asda. We can compare the same promotion in different retail environments. We can contrast the responsiveness of different SKUs. Data willing, we can compare on and off-shelf display effects. Here, Retailer 2's consumers are more responsive to the Retailer 1's, while SKU 2, the larger pack, gives the bigger uplift. But all that detail is only part of the story. We need to aggregate these effects to brand level to calculate payback net of cannibalisation. This may look very different. The net display effects, for instance, are much smaller. It's thus display which primarily prompts cross-retailer cannibalisation. Payback is the main raison d'etre of most models. Was something worth doing? Payback for O2 has several components. Both sales and churn are affected by communication. Total payback comprises short-term effects, medium-term effects, then the income accruing over each customer's lifetime. 82 to 1, it was worth it.
Thank you very much, Louise.